Hello and welcome to this week's Encounters Wrap-Up.
Well, it's actually last week's, because last week was week 4 of the current Encounter season, entitled... Scourge of the Sword Coast.
Yes.
Alright, so we started off where we left the last week. We were in Jalkun.
Yes.
And we really didn't have much to do there. I mean, we ran around going through what we had left in the underground dungeon part.
Yes.
We found a cook guy, and we really didn't find anybody else in there except like a bat creature, which I have a feeling we should have killed because it flew off and is probably a messenger for whatever demon or troublemaker is in this story.
Do you remember the cow that you saw afterwards?
Mm-hmm.
You should have killed the cow.
Did that say it in there that we should have killed the cow?
That was the bat thing.
It turned into a cow.
Yes.
So it's a cow bat.
Yes.
Or a bat cow. Holy bat's cowman, or holy... So, like I said the last time, my character suspected that there weren't enough bodies between the burial grave, what we found here, to account for everybody in the town.
No.
So we did ask the chef guy, and he said that they were taken off, plus the other guy we'd captured.
Yes.
That they had been taken off as slaves towards what?
Firestone Keep?
Exactly, something like that. And we knew that, what's the guy's name, Zev or... Jack, yeah. I don't know why I said Zev, I have no idea. Jack, the dwarf,
yes,
who was suspected of stealing the brick, even though he probably didn't,
no.
We knew he had gone to that area. So we're like, well, let's go see what's going on.
Yeah.
So we took, about, I guess the distance we figured was about a week, but there were 2 towns in between on the way there. So we stopped at the towns, total non-events. We got to sleep overnight, get food, make sure we had supplies.
Yes.
Now we get to the keep, which is basically your basic dwarven underground place because it's a mine.
Yeah, I think it was in a mountain.
Yes.
Maybe.
And what, about 500 yards out we run into what?
Well, you didn't actually go over to it, I don't think. You just you smelled death.
Yeah, there's a burial area, but that's not what we ran into. We ran into a few...
what are they called?
Oh my God.
Durgar.
Durgar. Yeah, we're just having total brain issues today. We ran into a few Durgar, and they were carrying dead people, probably from the town we just came from.
Possibly.
Well, that's what we're assuming, because there are a lot of dead people in like a burial place, and there's Durgar carrying more dead people. So we've got to figure at this point that the Durgar are using everybody that's not one of them, or a member of whatever cult we're dealing with, or I have no idea what we're dealing with.
Durgar are just straight up dicks, so it's probably just them.
Maybe, but I think that there's something deeper involved. But they're using the peasants and the people as slave labor in the mines.
Yes.
So, at this point, you know, because I'm playing the Paladin, even though it's a Vengeance Paladin, I'm not going out of the way to be a dick. I'm stopping people in our group from killing people that we don't need to kill.
Yes.
And at this point, my character was really pissed, because here we've got basically innocent civilians who are being turned into slaves and brought out dead, and it just pissed my character off. So we killed off these Durgar. We saved one.
Yes.
We got what information we could out of him, but he was pretty stupid, so we didn't get anything, and I just finished him off. I'm not letting any of these guys go at this point, because they're bad guys, they're killing the innocent, and they're dead.
Oh, yeah.
So we get up to the keep, and I'm assuming that those were the guards, because there were no guards up there when we got there.
No, that was a separate encounter that you ran into. They were just, they were from the mines, I believe. They came up, they brought the dead slaves out, and they were planning on taking them to the...
So what did we run into next?
You ran into more Durgar, but this time it was just 2 sitting at a table. When you alerted them, they ran off, they alerted the rest of them.
Yeah, they left that room, they went to another room, and that room actually had like tracks that went into the mine,
yeah,
and a bunch of murder holes.
Yeah.
And this was what was goofy. They're throwing spears through the murder holes.
I had to laugh.
Because you don't throw spears through a murder hole.
Yeah.
It's crossbows or bows. You know, he got throwing spears through a murder hole. It's another example of poor writing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but they're dwarves. They can use a crossbow.
Yes.
And that would make more sense. But, here we are getting hit by spears through the murder holes.
Yes.
And I just got annoyed. We tried to go to another room, and there was another room full of murder holes. We never got the... No, we did kill 2 of these dwarves.
Yes, you killed the 2 that you originally saw.
That went in, and that was pretty much it. We killed them. We tried to go to the next room, and we found another room full of murder holes, probably with spears that were going to come out of it. And I said, you know what, screw this. Let's go into the mines.
Yeah.
And we headed right down the tracks that were in that room. We hustled through. We did double moves, and we didn't get any other problems at that point. But we spent a good 2/3 of that session role playing in Jalkun.
Yeah.
Between searching, looking for stuff, our cleric was still worried about burying the dead, taking care of this kind of stuff, and erasing all the crap that was on the altars of his god that the demon worshippers had put there.
Yeah.
And so that was a large portion of the game. And it was fun.
Yeah.
There are aspects of this that I enjoy. I enjoy the fact that it's not the old encounters thing, where...
Well, that one was nicer because you didn't have to prepare for a couple days beforehand.
But
Newer DMs were actually able to use it. It didn't have quite as much roleplay. It had a little bit possible. The combat, it was just mainly combat.
Honestly, I think you can probably spend 2 to 3 hours of preparation for this. And it's mostly because there's a lot of reading that you have to do to make sure you have everything down that you know what you're going to do.
But the issue is some of the stuff, it's relying on other information in a different part of the packet, which kind of gets annoying.
But, that's your job. When you first get that packet, you should spend a couple hours, read the entire thing, and know what you need to do. And from that point forward, if you've read the packet, you've read the background, you know what's in there, then you know where you're going to be going each week.
Yes.
So, it's not that much preparation. It should spend an hour, 2 hours getting ready for each week if you've done the pre-preparation, which you should do before the launch event,
yes.
So you know everything that's going down. I'm pretty sure you didn't do that. You haven't read the whole packet.
I have. I did go all the way through it.
You finally did it?
Well, I did it when I first got it. I do. Now I'm going through Firestone Keep again, just to make sure I have everything. I didn't read the monster cards because I just worry about that stuff when it gets to it.
But anyway, what I was saying, what I like about this is it does let you do some role play.
Yes. A little bit too much sometimes.
It depends on the table. We had one table where the goofy kid, when they get to to Firestone Keep, or whatever it's called, he finds the mass burial ground and decides to go play with the bodies. And the DM's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So you had to push them to go and actually do something other than play with a bunch of dead bodies.
Now, I would definitely at this point say you start taking a d6 necrotic damage every round.
Yeah, you've got to do something to encourage him. Get the hell away from the pile of dead bodies.
Yeah. I would be brutal for 2 reasons. Number 1.
Well, it's stupid.
Yeah. And number 2, why?
What is the point? The same thing as what is the point of going in and playing out asphyxiation fantasies? I know when you're playing role-playing games, you have to deal with stupid stuff.
Yeah. But it's not that kind of role play.
I don't get it. Just go with the flow, play, but don't do something stupid. Yeah. And that's the problem. I really like public role-play games like this, where you get to meet new people, but it's also the problem with public role-play games where you get to meet new people.
Yeah.
Where they're just a little off.
There are 2 types of new people. There's a type that comes there, they're role-playing.
They're fun, they're cool, they're good to play with, and there's the type that you're just like, they do stuff and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And it's...
Every table's
There are fewer and fewer of those, but you're still going to have a few that come in once in a while. Yeah. But...
Every encounter season is going to have one.
Like I was saying, what I like about this is it leaves the role play open.
Yes.
And then it's good that you have that option because the combat is so quick.
Yes.
It's really, really quick. If you go more than 15 or 20 minutes on a combat on 5th edition,
you're doing something wrong.
You're screwing up. You got a party full of boneheads or something. And there's not that much to think out.
Or you're overpowering monsters.
But there's not that much to think out. Even with an overpowered monster, it should be...
I move, or do I attack?
Exactly. It should be, okay, I move, I hit, I'm done. I move, I hit, I'm done. Oh, well, I have a fast action, so I'll do my fast action. Then I move, I hit, and I'm done.
Yeah.
And these are cookie cutter characters. I mean,
spellcasters, like always, are a little bit more complicated. They take a little bit more time.
if you notice, it takes me what, an extra 30 seconds sometimes if I decide
to use a spell.
To use a paladin spell.
Yes.
And I've been doing that. I forget what the one I've been using. It gives me the extra D8 to hit. It's like, that's awesome. Now I can use my longsword, have my shield, and basically be dealing 2d8 damage, which is better than the 2d6 damage. Unless I got 2d6 plus a d8 for the greatsword plus that bump, but then I lose the 2 AC. And at this point, running around in chain, I got to use that shield and take the 2d8 damage. And then we've got the I don't like bards, but our bard.
Yeah.
I like our
He's
bard.
been useful.
I like our bard because he understands what a bard's there for.
Oh yeah.
He's a buff guy.
Yeah.
And he keeps his buffs going. He keeps throwing buffs out. He's like, okay, I do this. You guys get an extra D4. You guys get this. You guys get that. Awesome.
I think one of the things I've been having an issue with in 5th edition, this is kind of steering away from encounters. All the weapons, it's either a D8, a D6, a D10, or a D12. And D6 and D8...
D12s are rare. You don't find a D12 weapon that's worth carrying.
They're only one hand. And D10 and D12, they're two hand. And then there's the 1 2d6, or no, 2d6. And it's not like in 4th edition where you have different weapons. If you trained, you get up to the D12.
I'm gonna throw this on the idiot that's doing the D&D books now.
Yes.
I'm not gonna use his name, but he's an idiot.
Yes.
And I mean, he came out when people asked him questions about it before, and he said, "I'm not a math guy." If you're designing a role-playing game that's built on combat, statistics, and stuff like that,
you should know a little bit of math.
You should be a math guy.
Yeah.
Not a jackass that says, I'm not a math guy. And that's the problem with the weapons. And, you know, they've been making slight adjustments when people complain about the armor being too heavy because plate was too heavy and all this kind of stuff. But the non-math guy, the guy who's math challenged and is the head of the design team, that's a serious freaking problem. You should understand the mathematics of the game or you shouldn't be the head of the design team.
That's
because
true.
You're just fucking the game up for everybody. And that's what this guy's doing. I don't like him. It was a sad day when Bruce left.
Yeah.
But it was a good day for Monty Cook Games because they picked up an awesome game designer.
Yes.
And what happened, Wizards gets left with the bonehead of the crowd. And I think that's why we're seeing poor weapon damage. I mean, seriously, a longbow should be a D10. It was a D10, now it's a D8.
Yeah.
And that's messed up. The longbow busted armor. That's a powerful weapon.
Yeah.
And you got just get over it and make it a D10 weapon.
It's been a D10 since 1st edition, and then they nerf it.
Yeah, so, you know, that's a solid point where next, hopefully by the time the books come out, the math challenged are pushed to the side and the math enabled fix the problems with the game.
I think a lot of the weapons are busted when an axe is doing the same damage as a longsword. Even if it's a hand axe, or not hand axe, what are they called? War axe?
Yeah.
That should be doing more damage than a longsword. It's got more weight behind it, you're putting more muscle, everything's working where you're doing more damage, it should do a D10.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just have issues with what they've done, and I'm hoping it gets fixed.
Yes. But
that was week 4.
Yes.
And a little bit of griping. This week, what we do with encounters is because it's a 12-week session, and you're supposed to go through 3 levels,
yes.
After the first quarter, or the first third, we bump.
Yes.
So we'll now be 3rd level since it's from 2 to 4. We're now at 3rd level, and I was going to multi-class, but I'm just taking the 3rd level paladin to see what it does.
I'm guessing most people are going to go to 3rd level, but we're getting close to
Our time.
So this is
our camera person is letting us know we're at 14 minutes.
This is it for this episode. If you enjoyed the video, please like, favorite, and subscribe. And I think that's it.
That's pretty much it. Keep rolling the dice and have fun. And hopefully, after watching this, if you're not going to encounters, you'll find one at your local store. Go and have fun. I'm sure that I'm hoping that our group, some of the people we run into are an anomaly, and you'll find a great group to play with. A lot of great people go and play. The game's fun. Just go enjoy yourself. If you haven't played D&D, give it a chance. If you have, go give 5th edition a chance. Let us know what you think of
I
it.
will say 5th edition is very noob friendly.
It is very friendly to the new player. Don't use noob. We're not video games.
I was just saying we could
that's
trying
it.
to work out a way.
Anyway.
Newbie works
New players.
Yeah.
But thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.